And we're live. What is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Nikki Smoke, joined by Bobby and Jay. You are listening to The Smoke Show. Aloha Friday. Happy Friday. I got a beard right here. I'm ready to get going. I cannot wait.
Let's
Dolphins,
go, baby.
Browns preview. Oh, my gosh. I cannot wait for this game. I'm so fired up. And I feel like people are sleeping on the importance of this football game. The difference between 7-3 and 6-4 is massive, because I can tell you right now, when I wake up on Monday morning heading into the bye week, if the Dolphins are 6-4, I will be clinically depressed.
Yep.
And it's as crazy as it sounds, as entitled as it sounds, even though we shouldn't be, because I haven't seen anything in my life that should make me feel entitled to be a Dolphins fan. I would be upset. 7-3 would have me running around the house butt ass naked, and I would be itching to play Houston and beat the brakes off them. Because if you drop this game now, that 4-game stretch in LA, Buffalo, and Green Bay, you call it a 6-game stretch now, because it's not like the Jets are a 1-win football team, and it's not like the Patriots suck as bad as we thought they were going to suck. It's really a 6-game stretch. All these little beat up wins, we need them. And I got to tell you what, man, this shit makes me sick. I hate it.
Rat poison.
It gets me so mad. Like, why? Like, they do it on purpose. They don't want to see us winning. And now they know about the announcer mush, because now when they all pick the same side, they're like, oh, we know what that means. And all these pieces of shit, they hate the Dolphins. They all want us to lose. So what do? They know they can't stop us on the field, so they're going to try to stop us behind the camera, and they all picked us to win when the spread is 3.5. This is mental warfare. They're doing witchcraft, and I do not appreciate it.
I'm with you, bro. I mean, especially as a gambler, you know how that goes. When you put something in, you turn on ESPN, all of a sudden every single analyst has your pick. You just want to drink a little bleach. You want to close your eyes, drink bleach, and not watch football for the day. But it doesn't matter, because right now the Dolphins have something special. It's a new Miami Dolphins team right now that we have going on. And this game is massive, man. I mean, we are in a division title race right now. We are 100% in a division title race right now. You drop this game, those chances might go right out the window, dude. Buffalo is a strong, strong team.
Buffalo might win this week.
They
could win this week.
Very well could. So what we need to do is keep this momentum rolling right into the bye week, stay healthy, and keep this thing on track. Getting to 7-3, that puts us right in the thick of it for the division. Literally right up there with the Bills, and I guess the Jets are there too.
For the
so
conference.
I'll give them the respect. And then on top of that, say the Bills do edge it out, whatever. Keep us in that 5 seed. Let us play that AFC South team in the first round of the playoffs.
Love that.
That's very, very important. So this game is huge. Stack W's now, so we don't put ourselves in the situation we put ourselves in every year where it's we need to win to get in, like the Tennessee situation, and you blow the game. So we need to win. Stack W's now and make our lives a lot less stressful down the stretch.
Yeah, I tweeted, man, don't sleep on the importance of this game, and do not sleep on the Browns. You can say whatever you want about their pass game. By the way, Amari Cooper is playing really good ball right now anyways, even with Jacoby Brissett. But do not sleep on the Browns, because they have a good running game and a good defense, and that's a recipe that can beat any team. That is a recipe that can beat any team, because you keep the ball in the opposing offense's hands, like ours, because it's so dominant, and you have a defense who can keep up. So I would not take the Browns lightly. And then also, yes, the importance of this game is huge. Obviously, it's I don't know which website or which analytics company did it, but if we lose this game, there's like a drop-off of 20% of making the playoffs, like in terms of our chances. I can't remember if that's specific, but something like that. And of course, it's an analytics company. It's not the NFL, so who knows really? And obviously, that stuff goes a little bit overblown. But this game, and you can even look at it without that. I'm just adding to Smoke your point. But 7-3 versus 6-4 is a huge difference in this conference. And maybe it's not the AFC West like we all predicted at the beginning of the year. But now with the AFC East, it still is a stacked conference. When you look at the NFC, they are nowhere near the talent as us in the AFC. So going 6-4 versus 7-3, this is a must-win game. And I can't believe I'm saying that. And maybe it's not the most must-win game out of any games, but it is a must-win game, at least in my eyes, because
100%.
Going into the bye, especially with that little notion ahead of us, you have to be going in healthy and you have to be going in on a victory. Because if you're going on a loss, they're not going to be able to relax as much as they have, because then you got to keep tuning up. If you go in on a win, you can rest up, get healthy, and then gear up for what Smoke said. Not just a 4-game streak ahead of that. It's a 6-game streak now because of how good the Jets and Patriots are playing. So this game is super important. And speaking of health, it's super important that our guys stay healthy and keep being healthy going into that stretch, because you have to be, especially going up against teams like Buffalo. So to me, this is a huge game, and you cannot – people need to realize that the Browns are not easy, and we only beat the Lions by 4, and we only beat the Bears by 3. I was going to say, I think we're going to win, but I think it's only going to be by 3. They're better than the other teams, but I don't even know if that's going to be enough. You need to beat them. And the fact that we only won by 3 against our past teams, the defense needs to step up, because right now, no offense is going to look like slouches against us.
Great point, Jay. We got 52 people watching live already. 6 minutes in, we already got 52 people. Thank you guys so much. If you guys think the Miami Dolphins are going to win this Sunday, drop a big fat W in the chat and in the comments. Let me know if you guys are scared of all the analysts picking the Miami Dolphins to win, because it does make me scared. As a betting man, as someone who already bet the Miami Dolphins minus 200 to win, I am absolutely petrified going into that game. Might hedge out of it. Just kidding. I'm not a bitch. I'm sticking with it. Fins for the win. Jay, I want to piggyback off of what you just said and the defense and getting healthy and all that other good stuff. So the defense has looked like absolute dog shit the last 2 games. Let's just call it what it is, okay? The defense has looked terrible. However, both of those games have been on the road. The Miami Dolphins defense at home are a different breed. They give up 16.5 points per game at home. Whereas when they're on the road, they're giving up 34.2 points per game. Unbelievable. That's insane how much that fluctuates playing at home and playing on the road. And to be honest with you, I see this game being very low scoring. But I see our defense coming out there. I see them coming out to play. I really do. Because, look, we can't tackle fast quarterbacks, but we do good against running backs. And Nick Chubb is a monster. The tackling's going to have to be on point. But if there's anything that a Landon Roberts could do, is probably tackle a running back or blow up a gap on a run play. That's probably it. Jerome Baker, he's got to shoot those gaps and try to take his gosh darn head off. But the Browns' strength is their offensive line. Our D-line is so deep. They are so talented. And it's just now you finally got Chubb and JP and all these guys just meshing and gelling together. I think it could be something special. Now, Cleveland, they're going to try to run their 4 or 5 minute offense, keep Tyreek and Jalen Waddle off the field, and Tua. How do I not mention him? He's a fucking monster. That's the only way that they're going to slow down this offense, because once the 3-headed dragon steps on the field, you are burnt toast. You have no shot at stopping that offense. So, with that being said, I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, but I truly believe that this Miami Dolphins defense is going to show up on Sunday. Do you feel the same?
I'm hopeful, man. I really am. And those splits you just brought up are insane. I don't know if another team is as bipolar home and away as the Dolphins have been on defense this year, but it's really just been a tale of 2 different defenses. So I hope, and the numbers show, that our defense should play well at home. We now got some health back. Xavier Howard's fully healthy, not on the injury report anymore. Bradley Chubb, another week in the system, get a little chemistry, learn the playbook. You should see his snap count even a little higher. And honestly, he looks solid. Same with Jalen Phillips, man. He's been coming along all season, that high motor, been this close to so many sacks, where they just need to have that game where it all clicks. And I think the Browns is a great team to do it against, because they are going to try and run it down our throats, which might be a little bit of a problem with the tackling that I've seen. So tackling. That is my number 1 key for the Miami Dolphins defense and team as a whole this week. We need to tackle. When we can get off the field, we need to get off the field, because our offense, like Smoke said, is dynamic. It's explosive. It's unstoppable. I would put our offense toe-to-toe with any offense in the league in terms of moving the ball downfield and putting the ball in the end zone. So we need our defense to step up so our offense can get the ball. And I was saying this to these boys backstage pregame. The Browns are a team that love to run it. And the Dolphins, these last few games, have been a team that have started slow. Versus the Lions, versus the Bears, started slow. I want us to take the ball early and score it, Because if the Dolphins can go up points early in this game, the Browns can't just sit there and run it all game. They can't. They'll be chasing points.
Point.
So I'd much rather have the ball in Jacoby Briskett's hands and have him try and beat us. And if that's how they beat us, hats off to them. But if we go out there, score points, make them run the ball less and throw the ball, I think it's a recipe for success for this Miami Dolphins team in this game.
I think this game is going to be a lot more telling than people realize, because this is a game where it's going to test everything that we've been saying on the show and all the underlying themes that people might not realize. Penalties, scoring in the red zone, and tackling. Now, it got better over the last 2 weeks in terms of penalties and the scoring in the red zone, but those three things, along with the bad tackling, have been the bane of our team, really, the bane of our existence, the bane of our team as a Dolphins unit, because that's been the underlying themes that no one's really talking about, that no one's really talking about the significance of those things. So this game is going to be a very big kind of tell of if we have really improved, because I'm all in good with what we did in the Reds in the last couple of games, but this is a much better defense that we're going to be going up against. So I want to see if we can do it here. The penalties have been getting better, but to be fair, it's not that hard to get better from what we were doing in the past. We're like one of the most penalized teams. Like, I think we're the second most anyway. So hopefully we can keep that, like the 3 penalties are lower like we did in last game.
Yep.
And then like Bobby said, man, you have to tackle. Listen, I'm all about getting healthy, but if you need to not be as healthy because you're tackling practice, that's something you have to do as a win now team, because the tackling has been horrendous. And I said this in one of my videos, but I think it generally costed us at least one of our games, bad tackling. I can't tell you which one. I can't remember now. It was either the Jets or the Vikings. I just remember bad tackling just losing us games, along with obviously penalties and not scoring the offense, not scoring the red zone. But those three things have cost us games for sure, because even though Tua was out, those were very winnable games, and those three things costed us. So this is going to be a very telling game of how much we've improved as the season has gone along, which I think it has, just because obviously it's a new scheme, new system. So you're going to get better every week, especially with a new head coach. But this is going to be a very telling game when it comes to those three things, because the Browns are no slouch, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And you have to be able to do those things. You cannot take penalties against this team because they're going to run and play defense. You have to tackle because they have Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. And you can't take penalties, man. You can't take penalties. Nope. It's terrible. And you got to score in the red zone. You have to score in the red zone. Because this defense is going to get a sack at some point from Myles Garrett. We're going to get into that. But this defense is going to get a sack at some point from Myles Garrett, which is going to cause one of our drives to, go down the hole, go down the shithole. So you have to. Once you get into the red zone, you have to be able to score. You're gonna have to punch it in, because field goals are not gonna be enough to win this game.
We can't even kick field goals either. So
I know we can't even kick field goals. Jason Sanders is a bum. We got 80 people watching live. If you haven't already, please hit that like button. It's gonna help this video grow so much. It's gonna get to new people that could join our community, our family, join our chat. Who knows? You might make a new friend. Just hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. We're trying to hit 4,000. We are almost there, and we can only do that with your guys' help. So please hit the like button and subscribe. A familiar face is coming back to town this week. A good old friend of ours, Jacoby Brissett. Now, you guys all know who he was. He was Brian Flores' right-hand guy, king of the sabotage. Didn't win us a single freaking game while Tua was out. Are you smelling?
He did. Sorry, I had to say that. He did. The Texans.
Which game did he win?
We
did beat the Texans. Yeah. The second worst team in the league, yes.
Sorry, not to jump in on it, but we only spit facts on this show.
Right. Yeah. Thanks for the win against Houston, Jacoby. Do you guys smell revenge coming from the brisket smoker out back?
Yes, dude. I absolutely do. And I don't know if Dolphins fans or us should hate Jacoby Brissett. Like, I don't hate him. I'm not like this guy's the worst. He fucked our team. He just stunk at quarterback. He wasn't very good. He's been solid this year. I can't even lie. 1,800 passing yards, 7 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. But it's time to show him who daddy is.
Do you think he's going to have revenge against us is what I'm asking. Like, do you think he's coming into this game with a revengeful mindset?
Oh, I think that's what he's thinking. He's going to say, I want to show these Dolphins I was much better than what I showed them on the field. I'm going to come to Miami and beat them. But I think the bigger motivation should be Tua. Tua should be like, I'm about to show this dude who daddy is. He couldn't even win a couple games when I was hurt. He won one versus the Houston Texans. I'm MVP Tua right now. Let me show you what a quarterback looks like, Jacoby. And then he can go over there and pat him on the head and say, little Jacoby, good game, bub. Thanks for coming out. We appreciate you. Have a good one. That's what I think the motivation comes is Tua Tagovailoa.
Shout out Zach for the super chat. Fins up, baby. Let's go. Just sub. Thank you, brother. Just subbed and donated. You're a legend. Welcome, brother. Welcome. Thank you.
Yes, sir. And if you don't think that Jacoby Brissett is coming in with a revengeful mindset, I think you're ludicrous. I know he's probably not a vengeful guy. He seems like a nice dude, but let's go. But this is a guy. Yeah, doubled up. Sheesh. But this is a guy who I think if it was any of us or any quarterback in the NFL, if you get traded away or not re-signed by a team, you probably will go back with a little bit more motivation. Shoot, this is going to sound really weird, but we're talking about backstage. Jack Eichel got traded away from the Sabres. He went back there yesterday, scored a hat trick.
Did you have to do this on the fucking show, Jay?
I had to do it on the show.
No one even knows what you're talking about.
I know, but it adds to the point.
That you're talking about. Like
I'm saying,
we get it. You're from Canada. You like hockey. No one knows what you're talking about.
Bro, it goes with any sport in any league in any profession. Shit, I know when you guys were playing high school sports, if you had like teams that you know people on, you had friends from that school, you were gonna go a little bit harder. That's just how it goes. When you know people on the other side, and when you've been there before, obviously not for high school, but even on teams, like when you've been in other places before, this goes for any sport, you will get up a little bit more for that game. You can't tell me otherwise. You will get up a little bit more for that game. So I think Jacoby definitely has a vengeful mindset in terms of trying to get a win for his team to have those bragging rights. But to me, I think you will have a vengeful mindset.
I hope he comes in with a revengeful mindset because Jacoby Brissett is ass. I ain't worried about that bum. Man's is trash. He's a great dude. I met him at the Kentucky Derby when I met Tom Brady. I don't know how, but he got in the same suite as Tom. I guess they're friends or friends of a friend. I don't know. But I was talking to him. I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry you didn't get your shot in Indianapolis, blah, 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 blah. And then turns out he was going to be the Miami Dolphins quarterback like 3 weeks later. Regardless, the man's trash on the field. I hope he comes in with vengeance on his mind. So he tries to fit a ball in a couple tighter windows, makes a couple extra throws, trying to prove himself. You know what you are, dude. You're a backup quarterback. You're filling in for Deshaun Watson. And I would love nothing more than for you to go out there with the mindset of, I'm taking over this game. I would love to go up against Jacoby Brissett's revenge game than a Nick Chubb running for 195 yards. I'll take that all day. I hope he comes in thinking his shit don't stink. I am praying for that. Because if they want to get in a shootout, a passing shootout against the Dolphins, bitch, I might leave at halftime. Like, that man is not outplaying Tua Tagovailoa at home. I can assure you of that, brother. I can guarantee you that. This is not 2021 where you got people tweeting, oh, like this team might be better with Jacoby Brissett. Tua's an MVP. He is first in every category. I'm tired of saying them because they're literally tattooed in my brain. I can tell you exactly where Tua is in every single category. That's how many times I've had to say it on this show. He is an MVP. And if Jacoby Brissett wants to go one-on-one and try to big dog Tua at home, sign me up because that's a recipe that the Miami Dolphins will blow the Browns out of the water with. Period.
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. Give us a shootout. If the Browns want to go toe-to-toe and take a shootout, I'll take our chances in that one. But I don't think that's what they're going to try and do. But if Jacoby wants to try and fit some balls in, like you said, all the power to him. Please try and fit some balls in.
We'll beat anyone in a shootout, man. Our offense is too good.
I think we would beat the Chiefs in a shootout. We could beat the Bills in a shootout.
It'd be close, but I think we got them.
Yeah, no, for sure. It'd be close. I mean, the weather's obviously a concern. If it's like 12 degrees out, 45-mile-per-hour winds, I don't know.
And Mahomes is just clutch as, anyone. But
man, fuck Mahomes. Tua's better than him. Tua's the best quarterback in the league. That's the new agenda I'm pushing. And until he loses, I have nothing else to say. I think Mahomes has lost this year. Josh Allen has lost this year. Let me check the time. No, Tua's time hasn't come yet. No, he hasn't lost. He is fucking him. Undefeated this year. All right, the most important matchup that we have to talk about, and it's not often that you get to talk about the big boys, Teron Armstead versus Myles Garrett. This is going to be electric. And I don't know how, but my drunk ass is going to have to sit there and just zone in on the left tackle position all game. I'm not going to be watching Tyreek. I'm not going to be watching Jalen Waddle, but I'm genuinely going to have to keep my eyes on the offensive line until I see the ball fly out of Tua's hands, because it don't matter what route Tyreek's running or Jalen Waddle's running. It doesn't matter, because if Myles Garrett is winning that matchup more than Teron Armstead, that play has no shot. The play is freaking dead before it even started.
I mean, Smoke, this is a top tier matchup in the NFL. You'd be hard pressed to find many better matchups in the NFL, especially talking tackle versus D end. Myles Garrett is a top 3 defensive end in football. I think there's no debating that. And then on the other side, Taron Armstrong is a top 3 offensive tackle in the NFL, I'd say. Yep. He's done nothing this year to prove to me that he can't hold the spot down and get it done. Now, is he going to lose a few reps? I absolutely think so. That's what happens in the NFL. You're not going to go out there and win every rep, especially versus an elite caliber player like Myles Garrett.
Probably the top 3 edge rusher. My bad.
No, I already said top 3 edge rusher. You're cutting me off to say stuff I'm already saying. Come on,
yeah, I'm drunk.
But Tyron Armstead's done nothing to prove to me that he can't go out there and hold the spot down. And I think he will, man. I think Garrett might have 1 sack. If Garrett ends the day with 1 sack, no tackles for loss, we can live with that. We want to limit this guy, shut him down a little bit, but he's still going to get his every once in a while. And I'm right there with you, dude. I'll be watching that matchup all day. When the L22 comes out, I'll watch it again, because I think it's 2 guys that are absolutely elite at their position going toe-to-toe. And let's see who the best man comes out. It's hard to call, man. This is a hard matchup to call.
Jay, who do you think is going to win the other side of that matchup? Because they also got Jadeveon Clowney over there on the right side as well. How do you think that's going to go down?
Well, I'm going to go with Jadeveon with a slight edge. I do think Brandon Shell has been fantastic. Obviously, we'll see where Austin Jackson ends up playing. If he does end up playing, I think the right way to go is to put Austin Jackson at left guard, because Robert Jones just wasn't it last week. But I do think that Brandon Shell has been so solid at right tackle. You have no reason to move him. There is no reason to move Brandon Shell from right tackle. Even I know Austin Jackson played well. He was really coming up in preseason, all that stuff. But we're in the middle of the season. We're a win now team. We're not trying to develop guys. That's not the point of this season. Obviously, we're developing while we're winning, but that's not the point of this year. The point is to win. And right now, when you win with Brandon Shell at right tackle. So to me, you put Austin Jackson on left guard. Now, with that being said, Jadeveon Clowney, he's a great edge rusher. He's a great player. I think that it will go both ways. Like Bobby said, like when you go up against elite guys, like you're going to give up some reps. I still think Brandon Shell will be able to hold it down at right tackle. And as for the other side with left tackle, man, like Bobby said, it's going to go both ways. But I'll take my chances with Teron Armstead against anyone, because I'll say this. If he gets by Teron Armstead, he was going to get by anybody. So we would have had to have God there at left tackle anyways, because this guy is like a top left tackle anyway. So if he's going to get past him, I'm not going to be mad at that, because we have the best player to stop one of those top edge rushers. And then on the right side, like I said before, it's kind of the same thing. Elite edge rusher, or not elite, but great edge rusher, going up against the right tackle. You just have to hope he can hold it down, which should be fair. He's been very solid so far.
We got 100 people watching live. If you haven't already, please hit that like button. I have no idea how many likes we have. My display on my laptop broke, so I only got 1 monitor. If you haven't, just click it. It's so easy. It's quick. It's simple. It helps the channel grow. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. You do not want to miss the Smoke Show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. All right, so we talked about our offensive line up against their defensive line. Well, how about our D-line up against their O-line? Because they got some dogs over there too, especially on the inside. This is not going to be an easy task. Do not be fooled by that 3-5 record. The Browns are a sneaky, they're just a good NFL football team. Like there's juggernauts, great teams, almost great teams, and then there's good quality football teams that could go out there and beat you at any Sunday. And that's the Browns. They could beat anyone at any given Sunday. Straight up, they can. Mm-hmm. And that's why I think it is so important for us to win this matchup up front, because I believe that on paper, we arguably have the best front 7 in the league, or at least the best D-line in the league, depth-wise, starter-wise, all across the board. And I think that is going to be huge if the Miami Dolphins want to win this game on Sunday.
I think it's the premier matchup for our defense if we want to control this game. I mean, their offensive line is legit. They're 9th in the league at sacks allowed. They've allowed the 9th least. They're 3rd in the league at running the ball. So that tells me that they got some dogs up front. And we've said, like Smoke just said, on paper, this Dolphins defensive line is great. It's time to throw that paper, crumple it up in a fucking ball, and throw it in the garbage. I want to see it with my own 2 eyes. I'm sick of every week coming on this show saying, oh, we look so much better. We're so close. High motor. We're doing good. We're right there. It's time for this Dolphins defensive line to get after the ball. And I'd like some sacks. Don't get me wrong. But I think more importantly in the run game, we need our run stuffers, our Zach Sealers, our Raekwons, our fucking Christian Wilkins. We need them to wreck it up front, cause a pile, cause some chaos so that Nick Chubb isn't running through monster holes. Because Chubb's a monster, dude. He's fucking really good. So you need to stop him
Best running back in the NFL.
Of attack. Best running back in the NFL. I think there's no debate there at this point. I don't know who's in front of him, but that's exactly what we need to do. We need to stop him at the line of scrimmage and then tackle. Someone keep track of how many times we say tackle on this podcast today.
I'll say some more. You have to tackle. You have to, bro. You have to tackle, man.
Tackle. Stop them at the point of attack on the defensive line. Make it nasty. Make it ugly. Chop legs, top knees. Do whatever you need to do to slow them down, and then tackle. That's all I can ask for. I think it's going to be a great test for our defensive line. And if they want to show themselves as one of these best D lines on paper type of deal, you go out and you do it in a game like this, and you make a statement. Bottom line.
Against a team that has this offensive line, Jedrick Wills, top pick. Joel Bitonio has been a great left guard. Whitehall and Jack Conklin hold down that right side, probably the best right side in the NFL, if I'm being honest. Then they brought in Ethan Poches from Seattle, who, to be fair, struggled in Seattle, but with the guys around him, has been playing fantastic in that system. They have probably a top 5 offensive line. I can't remember all the offensive lines on top of my head, but the only lines I can remember having in front of them is like Detroit and Philadelphia, because Philadelphia has the best like offensive line in the NFL. Detroit offensive line is just fantastic. So they have like a top 3, top 5, top 10 offensive line, and this is going to be a real test for our defensive line because, like Bobby said, if you want to prove to be as good as we think you are on paper, this is the offensive line you're going to have to show us you can do it against. That's the only way we can actually say you are what you are in the top 10, top 15, top 5 defensive line, because you have to show up against these guys. This offensive line is fantastic. And again, other than J.C. Treader retiring, basically, it's been largely the same over the course of a lot of years, which usually is how you have good offensive lines. Do you remember Pittsburgh's offensive line? They never had anyone who was fantastic other than like Villanueva for a couple of years. Anyone who you thought was, top 5 at their position. The thing is, collectively, because they played together for so long, they had the chemistry, and then they, as a unit, they were fantastic. And that's what I hope we get on our offensive line too, hopefully, because once you have guys playing for together for like so many years, they will connect and they will gain chemistry. So to me, it's all about showing what we can do against this offensive line, because guess what? If you show up against this offensive line, you can shut down a lot of the narratives that are coming against us, because this offensive line is fantastic. So you need guys like Raekwon Davis to show up, be disruptors. That's what I expected of Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb. You need to be disruptors in the offense. I would love
to get a sack. Can't have another game with only 1 sack. You got to get,
especially against Jacoby Brissett.
Got to get him twice.
He's a statue in the pocket, bro. We remember how that goes. He's a statue in there.
No, for sure.
This is a great comment from Christopher. It's time for a complete game from all 3 phases. We've been waiting for this all damn year. We haven't had it. Not once have we had complimentary football, and it needs to happen once. We had it for 2 minutes against the Chicago Bears. We got to stop, block, punt, and scored a touchdown, all within 2 minutes. Aside from that, we haven't had complimentary football all year long. And I'm so tired of having anxiety the whole freaking game. I love it. Don't get me wrong. After a win, it's like, oh my God, dude, that rush was crazy. But I would love to not have to sweat a game till the last freaking second every single week. We should do that to the Browns or the Texans. It's got to be one of them. More likely the Texans than the Browns, but still, we need all 3 phases to work together at the same time. And I hope Tua comes out here and puts on a clinic, because we haven't seen that Tua light up game in Miami. All his big games at Baltimore, at Minnesota, at Chicago, at Detroit. Could you imagine the Dolphins' home defense that only gives up 16.5 points per game, and then we have a 300-yard, 3-touchdown performance from Tua? That stadium would fall to the ground, Jay. I would go jump on the goalpost and start freaking doing 21. Can you do something for me memes? Like, that's what I would do, bro. I mean, that's what this fan base needs to see at home. It would be insane. Walking out of that stadium after seeing Tua for 300, 3 tubs, the defense holds him to 14 points.
Maybe fans will actually show up.
I mean, they show up. It's just a lot of away fans show up.
Yeah,
what do you
that's what I'm
expect?
talking
All
about.
these people live in dog shit states. They see, oh, thank God we're playing the Miami Dolphins. I could finally leave my shithole and come to beautiful South Florida, and I have a reason to. That's what it is.
Listen, you guys caught it straight there. My bad, but still, I would love our stadium to be filled up.
All these people, oh man, yeah, I lived in New York, and then I moved down to South Florida. I've been here for 30 years. Oh, but I'm still a Jets fan. Oh, I'm still a Bills fan.
But
because they all leave their dumpy ass state, and then they come down here and they bring their shit.
We're doing a whiteout this weekend. I would love to see an actual whiteout. Like, to be honest with you, because
who made that announcement? Who made that announcement?
Garfinkel.
Garfinkel said it. I saw Big E was pushing it, and then Garfinkel did retweet it and say whiteout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying you need to show up, man. Like, you see the teams, like, I'm going to bring up the Chiefs. Bro, it's all Chiefs fans, man. And I get it. You're saying, like, it's different. Florida is a huge tourism spot. It's a huge place for people to go retire. It'd just be really nice to see our fans have a real impact on the game like other teams have. You see Tua when he's dealing with the sounds in his rookie year, his second sophomore year. Bro, it'd be so nice if we could do that to other quarterbacks. Well, to be honest, I get it. There's no roof on the stadium too, but we can't do that to other teams, which sucks.
Yo, what would you do in Missouri?
I don't know.
Besides see the Chiefs play. That's it. They have nothing else to do there. That is why it's all Chiefs fans. Just like Green Bay. What are you going to do in freaking Green Bay, Wisconsin? Nothing. But I agree with you. It makes me sick seeing these bums come into our stadium and take over. That's why I got so pissed off at that Bills game. That's why I was so fired up. They come to our stadium and they actually think they own the place. Oh, what do they call it? Hard Rock. What Bills Mafia takeover? Some dumb shit. That's why they enjoyed that flight home. They're all at the bars. They're waiting for the team bus to drive by. They're all sitting in the sun the whole game, acting like they own the place. You do not own this place. This is Hard Rock Stadium, home of the Miami Dolphins. And I agree with you. It's annoying. Like, it pisses me off. I've had season tickets my whole life. It's just something, unfortunately, you get used to. And that's why you have to hold your freaking ground. So if you're at this game, you need to get loud, you need to get rowdy, and you need to let these boys know they are not at home. You are not home. This is a hostile environment, at least if you're sitting by me.
I'm a first-hand witness. I know how it goes down over in smoke section. It gets a little rowdy. It gets a little crazy. That's what we need from Dolphins fans, man. Step up. It's your team. Let them know you're in the building, bro. They want to hear you. Make some noise.
Bob and I wish we could be there, man. Like,
yeah, so badly, dog. Oh, so badly.
Sad, but they screwed up this stadium because on the home side they have this all 72 club, and it's the worst thing that they ever did because all the true fans will never be able to afford it. It's like $3,000 for a seat, maybe $4,000.
It's crazy,
and it takes up, I'd say, 15% of the stadium, and it probably takes up.
Yeah, it's huge.
Half of the home side. So like the best seats on the home side backing the Dolphins.
Why is there a home
are all
side,
going
man?
for $3,000 to $5,000. It's just
so
stupid. Tough. It's terrible. Well, here's the thing. If you're a Dolphins fan and you sit on the away side, you would rather not watch the game there. Like you have no idea.
No, for sure. But the basically my end point is like it should just be all home side, you know, for the most part.
Yeah, but like if you've never actually been in the stadium and sat on the away side.
I haven't been there for time because I went as a kid, but like.
Yeah, but you've never been there in September and October and sat on the away side. You would leave. Maybe you wouldn't leave, but it's actually the most miserable thing of all time. I don't even know how those fans stay there for 4 quarters. I don't.
I don't know, but shout out Terry. Terry's repping upstate New York. My boy, I'm a Western New York guy myself, but the Daks are beautiful, Terry. Just throwing that in there.
No idea what.
Back to your regular.
Do not ever shout out New York on this show again.
Dog, don't tell me what I can and can't do. I
can tell you what you can and can't do. What we were doing is not giving New York any props. The Jets are actually good. I'm not giving them anything.
He just shit on New York. He said upstate New York, dog. Let us live a little bit. We're cool up here. We mind our business.
And you pay state income tax. Anyway.
We do.
That shit's gotta be brutal.
Yeah, it sucks, dog.
Is it brutal?
It's no fun. It's definitely not fun.
I'm not having a good time. All right. We're going too far. We're going too good. We're going too far.
Toronto.
Let's stay on the Dolphins. Dolphins versus Browns. Okay. The injury report finally coming back. The Dolphins are getting healthy. Wow. The Dolphins are getting healthy. Especially Xavier Howard. Sam Madison came out and said, He's healthy. He just needs his confidence back. What do you guys make of that? Because we've been using that injury excuse for 6 weeks now. Now it's just a confidence thing. How confident are you that X is going to get his confidence back?
Well, I mean, to start, it was an injury thing. Don't get that twisted. He had the groins injury. When you're a cornerback and you have a groin injury, bro, all you're doing is shifting and moving the whole time. So that's a major injury. Now, is this one of his? This has got to be Xavier's worst year as a Dolphin or worst year in a while. I can't stop looking at Jay. I just think he's frozen. But
I thought he was
blink,
frozen.
so I know he's not frozen. Yeah, I saw him blink. This has been his worst year so far as a Dolphin. I think we can all say that. He hasn't been terrible. He hasn't been dog shit, but he just hasn't been the elite Xavier Howard that we know. And I do think that injury contributed. But now Sam Madison's saying he's healthy, he's back, the groin's not a problem, he's 100%, he's ready to go, and the confidence is off, which makes sense because he's used to catching picks, catching interceptions, locking down best players on teams. And I think he can definitely get back to that. I see no reason why he doesn't catch one interception this week off Jacoby Brissett, and all of a sudden, it's right back. His confidence is right back. He's like, oh, yeah, I do this shit. I do this shit for a living. I get paid to do this at a higher level than most people can do in the fucking league. So, yes, I get it. It makes sense that it could be a little bit of a confidence thing. But hearing that his health is finally 100%, I think that will lead to higher play from Xavier Howard.
Number one, can you do something for me? Can you hit Tyreek for the quick tutty for me? Number one, can you do something for me? Do your thing, number one. Do your thing. Thank you for the super chat. Try hard 7. We appreciate you, brother. Much love. I hope you enjoy the Fired Up Friday. Sorry, Jay, but I was just staring at that comment and I just kept saying it over and over and over in my head. I had to get it out.
You're good. You're good. No, I am not worried about Xavier Howard at all. Not a little bit, because it's been half a year where he's been battling through injury, and we're acting like this guy wasn't a top 3, probably top 2, if not 1, because if Jalen Ramsey's not the best corner, then Xavier Howard was, like, for the last 2 years.
Yep.
Yeah, for the last 2 years, and he's been dealing with injuries so far this season, so I'm not worried about him at all. He's also never been a guy, like, let's say the injury, like, affects his speed. He's never relied on good speed. He had that quote, I think it was in 2020, where he's like, I make receivers play to my speed. Like, that's what he does when he jams them up at the line of scrimmage. So I'm not worried about Xavier Howard at all. He just needs to get healthy, and then, yes, he'll get his confidence back. He had uncharacteristical drops at the beginning of this year. I can remember the one against Buffalo, the one against the Ravens. So that's kind of where we're at with Xavier, is that as long as he gets healthy, I think he'll go back to being that good, not even just good, just elite cornerback. The other thing I need to say is we're kind of using him not correctly, and I know that's going to sound weird because we're running man-to-man, but we're running off man-to-man. Xavier Howard, I would still say, at least before this year, I would definitely say, is the best press man corner in the NFL so easily. When he can get up on them, press them, use his hands within that 5-yard gap where they allow them to do that without getting a penalty, he's the best press man corner in the NFL. So I want to see more of that, at least on Xavier Howard's side. The thing is, they're being forced to run off coverage, man, and they're being forced to run zone because they have fucking Noah Benogany over on the other side. So I get it. Like, I get that you can't, but that's, like, man, missing Byron, the injuries, that's all have affected Xavier Howard. So it's like, how much can you put on this guy? And we're still trying to use him on an island in some cases. So it's like there's been so much on Xavier with zero help on the other side. So I'm truly not worried about him at all. As long as he gets healthy, I think he'll be fine. The issue is obviously we'll still be running stuff because we don't have Byron. Fuck Byron, by the way, because we don't have him on the other side. Fuck because Byron. He is making Xavier Howard worse, literally. He's making Xavier Howard worse, which is ridiculous because for Xavier Howard to do what he does, you need another corner on the other side, or else, again, you're forced to run zone. You're forced to run man-to-man coverage while giving them a gap. Like, you have to let Xavier Howard do his thing on the other side. So as long as he stays healthy, I'm good with it, and I think he'll go back to being that top 5 corner in the NFL.
We had 120 people watching live. If you haven't already, please hit that like button. It's going to help this video grow so much. It's going to help our channel grow. It's going to help us get to 4K. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you haven't already, hit that notification bell too so you never miss when the Smoke Show is going live, even though you already know when we're going live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 5 to 6 p.m. All right. It's that time where we give our game, not prediction, but like our stat predictions. And to be honest with you, I think Tyreek Hill is going to have a field day because this
Denzel's back, by the way.
Secondary is suspect. They got 2 great DNs. They got a good D line. Outside of that, I mean, well, actually, they suck against the run too. They are terrible against the run. They really just have their 2 DNs. Their corners suck. I'm really not scared of either of them. I think Tyreek Hill is going to have another.
Denzel Ward is back. Whoa.
Yeah, you didn't
slow it down a little bit. Denzel Ward is a good cornerback.
Tough. No,
he's a good cornerback.
He's not playing good this year. He's not playing good this year. Yeah, he's not guarding Tyreek Hill.
Patriots put up 38 points.
No one's guarding Tyreek Hill.
Fuck them corners.
No one's guarding Tyreek Hill.
Denzel Ward is not having a good year this year. Anyway, Tyreek Hill's going to have a huge day. Huge day. I honestly think he's going to go for 150 and 2 touchdowns. 150.
That's not even huge for him. That's average. That's an average Tyreek Hill day. That's so crazy.
Well, nah, he doesn't get the tutties.
Nah, but 150 yards is just average. That's so crazy.
I know it is average. He's actually insane. He's a cheat code. He's insane. He's literally
cheat code.
He's a psychopath. Tyreek 150, 2 touchdowns, and I think Tua's going to go for 303 touchdowns again. I really do. I really freaking
standard.
Do. I said it before. He is playing the best football in the league right now, and it's not debatable. He's the most efficient. He's number 1 in every single category. I'm not going to name all 15 categories that he's first in. He's just in first. He's that dude. Tua's going to go for 325, 3 tuds. Like I said, Tyreek Hill, 150, 2 tugs. And surprise touchdown scorer, Trent Sherfield.
Let's
Sherfield's going to find the end zone. Those are going to be the 3 touchdowns that Tua throws this Sunday against the Browns.
Bro, these days, when you look to project stats for Tua, you say, oh, do I think he has a good game, bad game, or average game? It's kind of how I look at it, at least in that I like to base it off of there. So I'm thinking Tua has like an average, above average game. Tua's new average is 300. He's just doing that. That's what Tua does these days. So who would I be to sit up here and say he's not throwing for 3? I got him throwing 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, just like Smoke. And I was saying the same thing to Smoke backstage about Tyreek Hill. His only flaw this year has been he hasn't been able to get in the end zone. Everything else, he's been head and shoulders above any receiver in the league. He's doing shit at a crazy clip right now. But he found that end zone last week. He hit that backflip. And now I think the boy might be addicted. I think he might start this game out and be like, yo, I need to find the end zone.
It's just like
again.
The first time you smoke crack. You do it once.
Exactly.
Oh, I need that again.
He needs a little more crack. He's going to be jittery like, yo, I need to get back in that paint. I need to get back in that end zone. So I'm with Smoke. I got him having 2 touchdowns. Tyreek Hill, 2 touchdowns. I got Waddle, 95. Not quite 100. I'm going to give him a break on the 100. 95. I think it's more than fair. 95 will get the job done. And I'm looking for a combined rushing attack. I think Jeff Wilson gets 60% of the carries. I think Mostert gets 40. I think Wilson might be the new lead dog.
Mostert loses his job like that.
Not crazy, but I think that Jeff Wilson will be the lead dog, and I think
they already snapped him.
As a team,
Wilson already outsnapped Mostert last game.
Outsnapped him by 1. Yeah, I think we got to go for over 100 on the ground. We have to go for over 100 on the ground, and that might just be because we're up at half and we're going to start running the ball and playing time of possession, which I'm hoping. We need to start fast, and then 2 more predictions from me. Bradley Chubb, he gets his first sack as a Miami Dolphin this week. It's time. He was close last week. He played a solid game. This week he breaks out and gets that sack. And then for a turnover, Javon Holland. It's Javon Holland time. I would love to say X. I was going to go X.
Need that.
I just feel like Javon Holland's been a little quiet, man. He's been playing solid, not bad, not great, solid. But it's time for him to get a turnover, and it might be a pick. But I could see it being another forced fumble, safety blitz off the edge. That's what I'm.
By the way, don't get on Bobby for saying Javon Holland has been that great. It's just because he's being asked to do so much with all the DBs out. It's just because he's being asked to do so much. No, I'm just making sure before people in the comments go crazy. He's doing so much now. But for me, Tua's going to go for 300 yards, 3 tugs. I don't think the completion percentage will be as high just because, again, it's a tougher defense. But I still think he's going to do what he does. I definitely think I'm on with you guys. I think Tyreek Hill is going to get 1 touchdown. I still think he's going to go for 150. I think Trent Sherfield, I'm going to ride with you with that, Nikki. I'm going Trent Sherfield gets a tutty. And give me one of the running backs getting a touchdown because it seems like they have been, especially in the receiving game. So I'll do that as well. One of the either Mostert or him or Waddle because the 3rd touchdown it can go kind of either way to any one of those guys. For me, on defense, give me Xavier Howard interception, man. I'll say it. He's finally healthy. We're talking about getting that confidence
back. Should have had it last week.
And by the way, who does he know against the Browns? Their quarterback. He knows that this guy's fucking awful. Yep. You don't think Xavier Howard knows his tells, knows what he wants to do? I think this is a time for Xavier Howard to get intercepted. Like you said, he got one last week, which, by the way, the holding call, crazy, bro. He did a spin. The receiver did a full-on like pirouette, and you're saying it's a hold? Ridiculous. Like, it's ridiculous. So give me Xavier Howard with the interception on defense. I think Jalen Phillips and Bradley Chubb. That's tough because their offensive line is so good. Give me one of those guys getting a sack in this game, and yeah, man, Xavier Howard interception, and yeah. That's kind of what I'm thinking.
Shout out Terry, been a fan of the Dolphins since 71. Brother and sister live in Florida. There are fans in upstate shit York. Look, man, if you're a Dolphins fan living up there, I love you. I got nothing but love for you. I have nothing but love for any Dolphin fan located anywhere. I've been to New York. I'm just not a fan. Just not a fan. Too many people.
You've been to the fake New York, bro. You got to come upstate. You got to come west side. True. You got to come to the Rock, baby. No, I'm kidding. There's not much to do up here. I'm boosting.
All right, nice we only have 70 likes, 120 people watching. My math might be wrong, but that's really that is a little more than half. It's just still not enough likes. Hit the like button, please. It's free. I'm not even asking you guys to donate, although if you want to, you can. It's so free to just hit the like button. Doesn't cost you anything. Takes 2 seconds. Hit the like button. Very simple.
All right. Smoke, I think we got something for the people to put a little money in their pockets. I think it's a good time to drop that.
Yes. Let's put some money in their pockets, sir, Bubby. Same game parlay.
Mm-hmm.
Same game parlay. Let's cook it up. Let them know the first leg, Bobby.
The first leg is simple. I mean, you don't come to the Smoke Show and not expect us to put Dolphins to win this game in there. Dolphins money line, straight up. We don't like covering spreads. Fuck them points. We don't need them. We don't want them. We don't want to worry about them. The only thing that matters for the Dolphins is a W. So that's how you start the parlay off. Next up,
Twins. We said
you want me to give it?
You can give the whole thing. I don't care.
I got it up on my phone here. So
all right.
We just talked about it, man. Tyreek Hill. He's getting back in that end zone. He's going to be addicted to scoring touchdowns. At the beginning of the season, he wanted to get drunk off the yak. Now he's trying to get high off the end zone, something like that. Tyreek Hill to score a touchdown. Tua, disrespectful line. Tua over 254 passing yards. He could probably do that with his right hand.
Bro, for me, it's 270. Damn.
We might have bought up yards or two. Took a less inflated one, whatever. Over 254 yards. Next up, we're taking Bradley Chubb to get the sack. It's Bradley Chubb's sack season. Bradley Chubb to get a sack, and we round it out with the wild card. Smoke already spilled the beans. You guys already know what's up. Trent Sherfield. Trent Sherfield scores a touchdown for the Dolphins. You put those 5 together in a parlay, you're looking at 35-1. You want to put $10 down, make $350. You're a baller and you want to throw a full 100 on there, you make yourself 3.5K. Have yourself a night. That's what we're rolling with. We'll tweet it out when the ticket's officially submitted and tally along. Yo, let us know if you're talented because when we win, we want to celebrate that bitch, baby.
The only thing I'll add to that is I like Tua over 270 passing yards. You guys got him at 250. Like over Waddle receiving over 70 yards. That's good too. Give me Jeff Wilson over 45 rushing yards, man.
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot.
See, that's how I was so confident in Mostert last week to do that for me. I'm just not betting Dolphin running back.
Not betting Dolphins.
We don't run the ball enough.
It's going to be a very committee.
They only get 9 carries a game.
I know.
Like even if he outsnaps them, he'll get 13 rushes, and then you're praying that he averages like 5 yards.
We're going to run the ball at max 20 times, and they're each going to get 10. So,
which I'll know. I'm cool with that. Throw the ball. I like to run the ball, and I'd like
that's
to
our offense. Our offense is built to throw.
I know we were wrong. We were bad.
Yeah, we were all wrong. Yep.
We all came in like Mike McDaniel. We're gonna run the football.
Run game coordinator. Let's go.
Not even close. Not even close, dude. We are the furthest thing from a running football team.
Which I'm fine with, bro. In today's NFL, you throw the ball around the yard, and when you look at the plays and the schemes that McDaniel's coming up with in the passing game, I got no bad words to say about his play call. So it would be nice to run it a little more successfully. I can't lie to you there, but the way we've been moving it through the air kind of makes up for that right there. Ooh, that was a rhyme.
All right, before we give our game predictions, we did this last week and it worked. We talked about one thing that we want to see get cleaned up this week. That was a problem the week before. Last week it was penalties, and the Dolphins cleaned up their penalties. So what are you looking to get cleaned up this week against the Cleveland Browns? I'll start with Jay.
Well, I'll just take the obvious one because I'm going first. Tackle. Please tackle, because if we don't, Chubb will run a train on us. I'll say it. He'll run a train on us, bro. Chubb will run like a train, and he'll run a train on us, bro. Because, dude, this guy is the most physical running back in the NFL, other than maybe Derrick Henry. He breaks so many tackles. This guy is just a monster. He's elusive, too. This is why I think he's probably the best running back in the NFL, at least this year, if not Saquon or Derrick Henry. But he's right up there. And you have to tackle this guy, because if you don't, he will break one tackle and be gone. He'll be gone. You have to tackle. You have to tackle the quarterback. There is no Justin Fields one, an athletic guy. There's none of that. It's Jacoby fucking Brissett. Tackle the fucking quarterback. Don't just do this arm shit. Wrap him up and bring him down. And then I can't go back to it. You have to tackle Chubb. I'm gonna say it again because it's so important. Tackle the running back. Scream Hunt too, because he's a really good running back there. We thought he might come to Miami. He didn't. He's still a very good running back. You have to tackle him as well. So tackle.
I'll pick up on that, and I'll just say this isn't my one, but I just want to say this one. Tackle. We need to tackle, boys. That's been the downfall of this defense all year long. We need to tackle. But my key to the game, my one important thing that I'm looking forward to this Miami Dolphins team doing, starting fast. Because we've been slow starters in these last couple games, man. Chicago, it was a queasy at halftime type of game. Lions, they came out and just blitzed us from the beginning, scoring points. We need to start fast, both offensively and defensively. And all that does is make this our kind of game. If we start fast and put some points up, it takes the ball out of Nick Chubb's hands, and it forces Jacoby Brissett to try and beat us. So start the game fast. I said it to the boys backstage. I don't think it'll happen, but I'd love to see it happen. If we go out there and win that coin toss, I'd like to take the ball and go score 7 points immediately. Take the ball. I don't want to defer and go play defense. I want to take the ball, score 7, and set the tempo for the game.
This one's for you, Jay. Clock management. Clock management. Whether it's the first half or the fourth quarter, it needs to be better. I went back. I rewatched the game. I was like, oh, Jay might have had a point. It was kind of whack. But I'm still standing that if Sanders hits the kick, we wouldn't have been as sick about it. But just the fact that he missed it made it way worse. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Clock management needs to be better. That's something I want to see get fixed this week. All right. It is time for our game predictions. I'm going to start with Jay. Then let's see if me and Bobby had the same score, and we'll go from there. Jay, what do you got?
The same score.
All right.
No,
you know what? I'm deciding between the Browns points right now. If I want to go a little bit closer, I'm going to go 28-24 Dolphins. No way.
It's written on my computer right here. 28-24. My original prediction when I started thinking, I put Dolphins 31, Browns 21. But the Dolphins, for some reason, don't like to blow teams out. They don't like to play close games. So, yeah, Smoke, it's not you and me this week. It's me and Jay on the same wavelength. 28-24. Same score. Dolphins are scoring 28 because we're not kicking no goddamn field goals. I don't want to see Sanders go out on that field. So it's a nice round touchdown number, and somehow the Dolphins let the Browns stay in the game, and we're having a panic attack in the fourth quarter. That's just life as a Miami Dolphins fan. But as long as you win the game, I'll have a smile at the end.
No problem. I was between 28-24 and 28-27. So
I got 24-20 Dolphins win. Absolute sweat fest.
Look at the last comment.
Oh,
my dog, Terry. We're on the same vibe, fam. All right, Juju, I'm actually going to slap the piss out of you.
Juju, kick rocks, you bum.
I'm going to block him. Bum. Bozo. Blocked. Bozo. 24-20. Fins for the win. Tua's throwing 3 tugs. Sanders bounce back week. I think he'll hit a 29-yard field goal to get back.
Let's go. He's going to make a 29-yard.
29?
He's going to make it this time.
I don't know. That's a lot. That's a good amount of yards.
That's the win.
All right. 24-yard field goal.
Shit. That's pretty far. That's a decent kick.
Shout out Alec. Y'all commentary is my favorite on YouTube. Thank you, brother.
We do, baby.
I appreciate the money, but the words is what gets me warm inside. That makes me happy. Makes me want to come back and do this over and over and over and over again. If you guys enjoyed today's show, let me know in the comments. Throw up a W if you think the Dolphins are going to win this Sunday. If you haven't already, please hit the like button. It's free. All it's going to do is help this video and this channel grow and our community grow. And that is what's most important. Thank you guys so much for giving us an hour of your time on your Friday. We will never, ever take that for granted. I can assure you of that. We are so blessed to have you guys here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We love you so much, and come back for Victory Monday. Yes, because the fans are going to be for the win. You're not going to want to miss Victory Monday right here on The Smoke Show from 5 to 6. And as always, fins up.
Pins up, baby. Let's get this dub, boy.
Fins up, yes, sir.